So what we are doing, we're experimenting with the going live through Zoom on SCMDOJO page today. And so Muddassir, if you could, I won't be able to see it, but it looks as if we are live. So can you please confirm?
I cannot confirm that. I'm just checking this. Can anybody else also check, please?
Yeah, recording a lot. What?
It shows me live, so I think we are there. Something is happening.
Maybe I'm admin as well. That's why maybe I cannot see.
So can anyone else see us live on our page, on SCMDOJO page? I think I'll probably...
Recording live, Ahmed.
You can?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let me just also look at, because this is exciting. This is the first time we are experimenting. So let's look at as admin. Okay.
I enjoy to be a part of the experiment.
Yeah, this is the first experiment, right?
I mean, I could only do an experiment like live with people in the session. So it looks as if we are live, which is a great thing. We'll see after the session how it works out, and whether we got some interesting views there as well or not. So I think what I would do is we have 25 people in the room already. To begin this fascinating session today, I would actually want everyone to share where are they joining in from, because me and Muddassir, you always talk about creating a global community, a thriving global community of supply chain professionals. So please, in your chat, tell us where are you joining in from. Ibrahim joining from Massachusetts, USA. Shaima joining in from Saudi Arabia. I know Muddassir is joining in from Dubai. I am joining in from Toronto. So I know Deepak is joining in from Kingston, Ontario. Abdullah joining in from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Mumbai, Pakistan, Germany, Chile. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Mexico, Karachi. What else? What else? Who else is joining in from where? Please type. Because see, the idea is that we only grow as a community. The focus for all of us has to be a community. You can treat me as also part of a supply chain community now, because I'm trying to build this community and leading this community. Hey, Gaurav joining in from Dubai. And you all are a much more, what I say is closer community, because you all are from supply chain profession. And you understand your lingo, you understand what you're talking about. So when Muddassir talks to me about SNOP is something I have to read what it is, right? But for you, you talk about, like Matthias talks about logistics. So he understands logistics, right? So community talks in the same language, and community understands each other's issues, problems, and what opportunities are out there. And what we are saying, hey, Samuel joining in from India, thank you very much. Yeah, keep sharing, because ultimately this is an opportunity for all of us to know where are we joining in from, and how do we interact, how do we connect for more opportunities. So one of the biggest news that we have, I'm sure some of you have already seen the news coming from Saudi Arabia. And that news is that Saudi government has announced, and please tell us if you don't know. So just say no, you don't know the news about this great initiative Saudi Arabia is embarking upon. And that initiative is 10 billion Saudi riyal investing into supply chain excellence. So they want to really make Saudi Arabia as the hub for supply chain. 10 billion Saudi riyals. Now, where there's money, there are opportunities, right? The money is being pumped in. Do they have the capacity to actually optimally utilize that money to transform Saudi environment. They may be looking for people like you, organizations such as SCMDOJO, experts such as Manuel or Matthias or Benjamin or Deepak. I don't know. I mean, there could be tremendous opportunities out there. And at SCMDOJO, we are looking at those opportunities very closely because Muddassir is sitting in Dubai and he is already working with some amazing Saudi partners. And that's where the real opportunities will emerge in 2023. So what we want, and the message today for from SCMDOJO, from me, I mean, I'm sure Muddassir will add a little bit mustard and honey on top of it, is stay connected. If we are not connected, if we are not building our capacity on a regular basis, if we are not understanding what is in the market, we will be left out. There will be people who are more stronger, they're going to grow much faster. So the biggest message from me, from Ahmed Siddiqui, is the opportunity is right under our nose. We really need to capitalize on it. We really need to build our own capacity as individuals, as institutions come together and become strength as a community, supply chain community from a global perspective. As you can all see, we are from all over the world. Muddassir, do you want to add anything to it before I jump on to our today's topic?
No, I think thank you as always. Our vision, and that's why Manuel is here. Our vision for a long time, and I think we had a chat about 18 months ago, me and Manuel, right? We definitely have the desire to help and grow people. The quality of the content we produce, the quality of experts we get on the SCMDOJO free webinar for our members, it's I think people, you have to pay for it, right? So it's basically you have to pay for it to get people like Manuel. I'm going to be honest with you, but we have done, I think Manuel has spent about 20 years in supply chain logistics, and one of the biggest brands like Kuehne+Nagel, Schenker and all that. I mean, he's one of the leaders and he's passionate about mentoring and coaching, and I'm sure he's got a new initiative called Company E, where he's dedicated to the mentoring, which I'm sure Manuel will talk about the vision and mission. And we have the same vision. So when you want to do a good thing, and we genuinely believe we're trying to do a good thing here, that means it's all grow with collaboration, right? So there is no competition, and the main aim here is to benefit as much as people as possible. What is SCMDOJO vision and mission? Again, I'm going to repeat, is to help you survive and thrive. How are we going to help you survive and thrive? By providing best quality content, courses, guides, best practices. We are giving away at the price like $39, and all my US friends are criticizing me. I mean, you are really ruining the market. Why are you that cheap? I said, like, I could give it for free if I could, really, but it's a business venture, because the NGO, which is non-profit organization like Apex or SIPS, the CEOs are making $1 million a year, so they're not really NGO. Anyway, not digressing. The point is, we want to help our friends here to grow in the career, help the supply chain problem look good. SCMDOJO is not a hero. Supply chain professionals are. You are the hero. We are here to help you. We are just a guide. We are a sidekick, right? So that's what we are. And I just basically give it to now Manuel, right? I think we should start with his vision, maybe his background, where he is right now, share his story, and then we can take it up and the questions from people after Manuel just explain how he thinks a great supply chain career will look like. So over to you, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, first of all, thank you also for the opportunity here. We have been in touch quite some time, and also I spoke to Ahmed, very inspiring. Thank you, guys. A lot of virtual happening as well during the last years, but now we are back on track. I believe that we can even meet each other. So the vision. So the vision. Maybe I start with myself quickly. So it's not. I don't want to really talk about myself here, but just that you know, I'm from Germany. You can probably hear that from my accent. I have lived 8 years in Asia and worked there too. And there's a first question already, Benjamin.
No, I was giving applause.
Ah, okay, very good. Because you are my fellow German, yeah, I believe.
Benjamin Baloch is there.
Very good.
Hey,
All
man.
right.
I mean, yeah, I think we got an intruder from Germany. Be Manuel, careful of him. He's naughty. Just warning you.
Let's challenge me, okay? So fine. So I have 8 years in Asia, in Hong Kong and Singapore on my plate, and worked for, and this is very important for the audience. I worked literally my entire career for a supply chain service provider. So that doesn't mean that I have no clue of the shipper point of view, because those are my clients my entire life. So I'm pretty much connected, and I believe that I also know what's going on in supply chain process as well as procurement. But what we all have in common, and now this is maybe it really the evolution of this, maybe I start with. So as I studied very long time ago, logistics, you could not even find in any country a solid program in universities in this field. Therefore, here, Mr. Kühne himself funded an academy, because there was no university taking this up seriously. And if you look now, and I am only 20 years maybe in this field, if you look into this now 20 years, where we are now. So literally, I would say every big university in every country will offer a supply chain education program. And I am really, this is ultra speed, yeah? So 20 years ago, no program. And now we are here, everybody is keen to look into it at least. Yeah. So what does it mean? That the graduates or the people who have done it, they are quite interesting to the market. So that also means an upgrade from employer point of view. Yeah, that is something I just wanted to share upfront before we go into some issues I come across. And what I'm going to share, and we can also, as you said, Muddassir, maybe we go and change direction a bit. So the result of my experience is that I did not have, I did see a lack of support towards talents in our industry. There is simply not really all over the place good leadership, because it has grown so quickly. So there's a lot of people who lead people who do not understand how to do this. And what do you do now with those people who are supposed to enjoy a good leadership? And leadership, of course, maybe Ahmed and you and myself and others in the room may not be able to provide directly, but what we can always do is support. And this support is something, where do you actually get that from? So, and I come later from, I actually listed down a couple of key points, what I believe it's a good career in our industry, and where do we start? But just to go really with the result already, think about it. Who do you actually talk about or talk to if you really want an advice? So you, in some areas in your private life, you may go to your friends, you may go to your parents, you may go to a colleague, yeah. But there are also places and people who cannot do that, because maybe the friends are not even understanding what you are doing. Your parents, my parents still ask me, what is actually your job? I don't understand what it is, yeah. And so I could never really ask my dad for advice. I believe there are many people who have that lack of problem, and that is actually literally the vision that, especially for individuals who do not, who feel stuck, sometimes they need a coach, yeah. And now we can combine it, or we can relate it to our gym experiences. You are good with a personal coach, but only until you actually have it, yeah. Once the personal coach is gone, you lose basically also a bit on it yourself. And what I try to offer is not being a coach, but what I try to offer is being a mentor. And what does it mean? Actually, it's that I would call it a bit like personal angel, just following you And it doesn't need to be a rhythm. It can be a monthly rhythm, can be a quarterly rhythm, can be a yearly one, can be also a daily one. So that actually really comes by demand. And there are so many people who actually came and reached out to me already, especially in Asia, to be honest, who maybe based on cultural difficulties do not have the friends or the network to get this advices. It can be simple one, it can be also very detailed one in our business world, as we all know. So that is in a nutshell division. But if there is already a question, then please, I take it. Otherwise, I would also give you maybe from the beginning to my end, what I would actually believe everybody should do. Yeah, I can give you recommendations if you are keen to listen to this. Yeah, but maybe there are some questions already.
So Purwin, when you're saying you have been differentiating between a trainer and a coach, did I get you right?
I mean, a coach for me is a trainer. Yeah. So because if you can relate it maybe to football, you can relate it to the gym.
Yeah, I fully understand.
Yeah,
I'm on the page. Then I misunderstood you. Sorry for that. Because I thought like you're not a trainer. You're more considered as a coach.
I'm not a coach. And I'm also not a trainer. I'm the friend, and the friend has some very different objectives towards the people you are talking to. The coach drills you, and I guide you with experience. Very different. I hope that this is. I mean, there are business angels.
That's why it's important to us to have that discussion, because it depends on the definition. Because for me, a mentor guides me as well.
Right. As I said, I guide you, but I don't drill you.
Yeah. And that's the difference between the coach trainer and the mentor. So you would be more into the role of a mentor.
Correct.
Okay, I see.
And that is already, actually, there's a company, as Muddassir already said, company E is the name. So we kind of verbalized and defined it on our company page. The page is live already, but it's not yet. It's a platform-based approach. So it's not only me. I will have a due diligence process where some mentors I know can join, and then we wanted to connect to the world. And of course, there can be only limited based on people can be taken on, but that's the idea. The idea is being the guide. And that can only be somebody who actually understands what you do. Yeah, that's also the difference. The best coach, for example, if we talk about football, you don't need to be a Champions League winner in order to be the best coach, right? So, but for a mentor, you better understand in order to guide what is actually your mentee going through. Yeah. Is there any already on it? Any other question?
No, I think let me move this conversation forward with my mentoring experience, right? I think today's purpose was to basically help people where they are in that stage of the career and hear the story, right? And I think you started very rightly by saying, even in, when we were growing up, saying there was supply chain was not the school. You just, I did a survey that how many people end up in supply chain by choice and by luck. I think when I was managing myself in the factory, most of my people were either engineers or manufacturing guy who end up in planning, or somebody who was in legal end up as procurement. And if you are very good in shop floor, they put you as a logistic leader, things like that, right? But now people, I have a blog where I think if more than 100 universities are offering the education or master's program in supply chain, that's happening. But the issue with this education here is that you can go and get certified, go to SEBS, Apex, wherever. But the issue is still the same, that when you move into career, so we have to find this right balance of understanding the technical competencies needed, then the people skills needed to grow, and combine with the technological challenge which we have. Because I 100% believe that supply chain technology is almost a decade and a half behind fintech and also digital marketing, right? So what therefore, I think if you see all the historical leaders in supply chain, they are very much operations people, right? Kind of aggressive, get shit done kind of people, right? So my actually question to you, Manuel, is how if somebody who's started a career 2-3 years ago, maybe you have degree, maybe it doesn't, because it doesn't really matter you have a degree or you don't have a degree. I believe that right now is a time that you have to build yourself into all these three skill sets. So basic supply chain knowledge, which I think is a hygiene factor. You need to know your procurement processes, your material planning, your logistics, your forecasting and all that. But you got to learn some soft skills, presentation skills, your basically communication within the organization, how to manage up, leadership skills and all that, and whatever happening technology, the blockchain, IoT stuff. So if somebody's starting the career, what would be your advice how to build these competencies when somebody is basically trying to go up as a first line manager or etc.
Yeah, very good. So first of all, I think that the most important part to me is that people have the attitude to really want to do it. Yeah, it starts already with the self awareness, or with your own willingness to do this. So some people complain, but they actually never do it. Yeah, so this is the beginning of everything. And then you need to also have that's my recommendation. You really have to have various mentors. I would actually say they're internally and externally. If I say internally, within your organization, and the best advice is not necessarily go in the same department. So basically and I encourage people in my role, under my supervision, for example, to look for a mentor like our chief HR officer. It's a very different view. They have very different views and advices, but can be very helpful if you later want to go through or want to have an own career path. If you want to, then you have these report to those people as well, right? So externally views are also extremely important. And what I say, what's really important to everybody is ask for what you want. What I also feel is, as you rightly said, many supply chain leaders are ops-driven people. There's nothing wrong, right? It's cool. But what they forget is that they also need to be force themselves out of the comfort zone and be a bit extrovert. I'm not saying that you need to change your personality, but you maybe need to come forward and actively ask within your organization, or use the platform, network, social media, whatever, that what do you actually want? And I can tell you in my experience, out of 10 people, only one is actually really saying what they want. Do you really go to your superior and say, in 3 years, I want to actually lead a country somewhere, or I want to lead that department? Nobody is really doing this so much. But if you do this, you really set the bar within your organization and already have kind of defined what you want. So now that doesn't mean that with everything you say you are going to get it, but your surroundings, your leadership, your people will understand, okay, this person has actually a plan. So now then there's a journey on how you go to this plan, but I really encourage everybody to define those goals, what you want to, and then you need to have support who can guide you. Yeah. And there's Matthias with a question.
So before Matthias, Manuel, kind of taking the advantage of being the moderator of the session, you actually hit the nail really. A lot of people do not really have practical aspirations. They have aspirations, but practical aspirations as to what they want to achieve in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years would then help them create a process of achieving their goals. And there are examples, like, your example, Muddassir's examples, my own example, at this age, after 35, 36 years of corporate career, I transformed myself as a solopreneur. Journey is bumpy, and it's like a roller coaster, but you enjoy doing it if you have a plan. So what I get from you is have that plan and then build that process. That process could be learning something new, as Muddassir said, three areas. It could be getting some mentoring. It could be getting some coaching, going back to university, doing some certifications. That's the process. But ultimately, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have an ultimate goal in mind, then reaching to that point is a little bit more challenging. So that's 2 cents from my side. Matthias, please go ahead, and then we'll go to Atiq.
Just wanted to add, I mean, German companies like 𝐭 and many others have done for many years a really good job with the dual education, or duale Ausbildung in German. I was part of this program down here in Chile. I started out as a shipping intern at a shipping agency down here called Ultramar, and they really took young people early on into the logistics world, into the specifics of the job, of the industry, really built guys for the future to get managing roles, etc., in their companies. So that kind of approach is really, I think, the way to craft people into your organization, your business, your culture, whatever it is, right? But it's a process, as we have been talking here. And it can start early on with very basic things, going through different departments, different roles, different things, and really help that young person understand what the logistics world is all about.
Yes. Let's go to Atiq. Atiq, your question, please.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
So first, let me just introduce myself. My name is Atiq Ahmed, and I graduated as an industrial engineer. And right now, I'm working in a reputable firm, Angro Polymer, as a logistics officer. So I'm responsible for the transportation of the liquid orders and also the management of fleets that all come under my job description. And I've been a supply chain enthusiast from the very start. Ever since I first heard the supply chain, it simply made a curiosity in me to search more about it, like what supply chain is and what supply chain function. And when you really think about it, supply chain is way cooler than it sounds. Like, supply chain organizations have evolved and continue to evolve with every technology and innovations. Likewise, today's logistics, transportation, and distribution professionals are doing a lot more than delivery boxes. They are strategizing product movement up and down the supply chain, from the source to the final customer, and all points along the way. So, and being a logistician, half of my work actually depend on analyzing the data. Like, I'm doing half of the work of as a data scientist, or you can say as a big data professional. So my real question is, like, it is involving supply chain, is no doubt about that. So for a person like me who just kickstart his career, where do you see supply chain? How much is it is gonna be involved in the next 5 years, and how big data or data science are gonna play a role in these professions?
Excellent question, Atiq. Manuel.
Maybe I can take this one. I think the logistics industry is a data-driven industry, and without data analyzing skills, it's very difficult to advance in your role or career. So you really need to get good at analyzing data, and really not only getting good at analyzing, but also getting your peers, your teammates, everybody on the boat, on the same boat of analyzing data, really making value out of that data so that you can bring it to the process.
I think there's no doubt on this data, but let me bring it forward a bit further, please. So again, Matthias, also thank you for sharing this dual role which we have embedded in Germany in our culture. Yeah. So here, this is actually what you do. Yeah. If you don't go to university, you actually do an apprenticeship, and then you have a supporting company with that. But this is a basic, right? So everybody needs to have a basic. But for me, building the career also means what do you do in order to grow? And now I come back to 𝐸𝐸𝐸 again. What's important is, for me, it's no doubt that actually the data and driven and your role will be even more important in future. Yeah. However, you also do not want to be in your role forever. And that is how I understood the career, this session. So what are you actually doing in terms to grow? And that means that you need to find supporters within your territory or your company, but also I suggest, and this is only a recommendation, also find supporters outside of your territory, because only if you mix it, you will become a sweet spot, and you can also network, which is nowadays extremely important, is actually as much as relevant as your data example. If you do not have a strong network, you may fall over, or you do not even have then the opportunities. Yeah. And as I said, as a summary, the good part is if you really define your goals, and to come back to Ahmed on it, it's for me not even important only to have a process in place. Actually, for me, it's important that you also make it visible to people. Because it's nice if you have your own process on your paper, but if you do not share that with your some stakeholders within your organization, then how should people help you on this journey? And that is, it can be a mentor, it can be a coach, but it can also be a stakeholder within the company who is not only acting as your mentor, but actually as a supporter, right? I also had that, where I can give you an example. After 3 years, maybe it's just my own attitude. After 3 years, usually I feel bored, because I believe after 3 years I have done it, I have proven it, and now I want to be challenged. And I believe that because I actually always make people very clear available with this, that I start in 2.5 years. I mean, it's not really in my books, but it starts naturally. I go to big guys, can even be the CEO. Yeah, I'm not saying that you now go to your CEO at 𝐸𝐸𝐸, but I'm saying that it really depends on your attitude and how you want to do it. But you need to make yourself visible with this. So you go to those people, find the sweet spot. It can be a meeting, can be you reach out for one-to-one, and you say, can you help me actually to give me another role? It can be a sidestep, can be work in a different country, can be work in a very different department, can be something very different, but to make yourself valuable even more, and you learn and put yourself out of the comfort zone. People will recognize in the organization that you are not just continue to do what you do, but you really want to learn. And that is what I'm telling initially, and what I mean with attitude. So look into this. That would be my advice. Find the right people internally and externally. And then the last piece of advice is, which I don't see much, every company, it doesn't matter how big and good, Kühne Nagel, strong leader, but there's weaknesses. If I worked there 14 years, if you now have the guts to recognize those weaknesses, at least in your space, you will not solve the problem in the world, right? But in your space, why not you create this initiative with a solution suggestion for this weakness, and then you present that to your superior or to peers or to people. I can tell you it's magic. It's not something you are paid for. It's not something that people really talk to you literally or normally, that they expect you now to be the most innovative person to make the company better. But if you do in your space, if you do, okay, this process, I can actually make better this one. Why not we go to this supplier? Why not we combine that and that? So I give you one example. Following the idea of this, I always ask myself, we used to have key account managers who are 60 plus years old, very experienced. They know exactly what to do. And we have key account managers just coming from school. And they didn't even talk to each other. So if you now be able to combine this 60 years old key account manager and give him one of those ambitious young key account managers, imagine what happens. The older guy feels empowered and actually feels like, oh, I am valuable with my knowledge, besides my ordinary job of serving clients. The younger person will enjoy the most powerful 40 years of how to win business. And if you even, it sounds very simple, but that has not been available in 𝐜𝐴𝐤𝐽 nor in any other organization I know. So if you can do this, just only in the space of sales, where I'm coming from right now, then you have the magic spot. Because as I said, the older person will feel empowered, the younger person will learn the best. Yeah? Maybe that is also another encouragement or idea that you, 𝐼𝐚𝐺, can define something as a solution for your employer. That doesn't need to be that example, but in your space, and I tell you, you will be recognized.
Awesome suggestion. And what so sometimes the greatest ideas come from the least experienced people. Remember that, because they have a lot of mental capacity to think, right? More experienced people are more into their routine. So younger people coming out are the real people that companies can really build their thriving, innovative approach to. So if someone at my level, I still have to struggle on few things, because the logic is, as you grow in your age, your capability to learn quickly reduces. That's the reality, right? But at the same time, a lot of people don't appreciate it. So a lot of senior people, the older people, they try to be like more protective into their own shell, right? So the idea for younger people like Deepak or 𝐼𝐚𝐺, Deepak is more experienced, but become friendly with these people. These people bring in the wealth of knowledge, and try to help them. See, don't tell them what they are doing incorrect or what they need to learn. Just help them and be friendly with them, and you will see things happening for you, because they're bringing in tons of knowledge and experience with them. So we have a question, Manuel, and anyone with us today, in about 10 minutes time, we are going to do a networking session. So if anyone plans to drop off, you're going to miss an opportunity to know at least one or two supply chain professionals from you would not know from where, and you will actually build your network, because the ultimate goal, as I said earlier in the session, is to build that community, strengthen that community of supply chain professionals. And all these questions that you're asking are amazing questions. So Abdullah is asking this question, which is, these kind of questions are really close to my heart as well. So young fellow, you go start your supply chain career, and you have certain KPIs to achieve. And most of the time, you're killing yourself to achieve those KPIs under pressure. You have no opportunity to learn. At least that's what you're thinking from your mind. This is the mindset that I have no opportunity. How do I think out of the box? How do I change things? Now, you cannot really, in most of the cases, turn things around. But you can at least start talking about things if you know what you're talking about. So Manuel, how would you respond to a person who is asking a question, no, I really do not really know where to go from here. I meet my KPIs, I do my work, I'm under pressure. What is one thing that you would suggest?
One thing, oh man. What I would suggest is, we took some of it actually before, that you are maybe in a kind of circle already, and you need to have a side player. And again, it can be a mentor, can be a coach, can be actually stakeholder, can be somebody. But if you are only alone, then you will not come out of it easily. Not many people are able to do this, right? Some people I saw, if they have that situation, they will simply resign, go to another company, and then they will find themselves in the same cycle after a while, right? So sometimes it can be a solution if you are really feeling that nobody guides you. Even, and that is my advice in that cases, look for supporters. I have literally never seen, if now this person who asked that question, Abdullah, right? If you are, I've never seen an organization, again, it's just my personal experience, it can be, right? But I've never seen, if you would now go to your leadership, doesn't need to be even your direct leadership, to people in your organization and ask, simply ask, you want somebody on your side to help you. And again, it would be good outside of the area in order to avoid, sometimes there's some friction that your manager doesn't like that you talk to this, but if it's really outside, then there is not this kind of thinking. And that can already make yourself visible, and you need to make yourself visible and also define what you want actually. Because if you continue to complain only, you are not going to achieve anything.
Yeah, so let me add one thing here, right? This is a pretty common scenario, right, between medium-sized to large companies. Forget about SME, which doesn't have like 20 people. So if you're working on the job and you're not growing as a 3-time, I mean, it happened with me as well. You know, your boss is very comfortable, he doesn't want to go. So what do? Right? You only got 2 choices after that. Right. One choice is you talk to your boss, gain his confidence, say, I understand you. And I had this discussion with the boss. He told me, what, I like my money. I don't want to learn. I'll help you move sideways. So I'll find your job. I'll find your job within certain organization. Okay. So in your career, there's only 2 people can help to grow within a company, right? Not outside within a company, yourself and your boss. If your boss is not helping you, right, and he doesn't have a sincere heart to grow within the organization, you literally got no chance, right? Then it becomes political, then it becomes your boss doesn't, have some abrasive relationship. So the only person needs for you to get in trust and have a genuine interest in your development is your boss, right? If that happens, then and I work for the managers who've been very sincere. They send me to the leadership programs. They find me a job in a different division of the business. They give you a challenging assignment. So what they can say is, of our manager, I've got 2-3 ambitious people. I cannot develop everybody as a successor. It's very clear. Success is only one person. So what you do with these 2nd and 3rd people who you can see as a manager not really a succession material, you tell them what are the development gaps, and you tell them, I'm going to give you a challenging project, or I'm giving you a certain task where you're gonna learn how to influence people, because what you need to build is a leadership skill. So if you are not getting more money, more position, then the second assessment criteria is if the organization is good for you or not. Are you getting challenging projects? Are you getting projects with the higher responsibility? Because I'll tell you this, money is not everything. I mean, 5-10% won't actually do you good. I mean, you have to really change the job in a company to make more money. Just put it this way. So it comes down to what you are learning and what challenging opportunities you are getting. So if you are getting where you are learning to your leadership skills, your commercial skills, negotiation skills, IT projects, and this is where was fortunate enough that I've done very, very challenging projects in the same job. And that's what happened in my last position. I was there for 3.5 years. Position doesn't increase, money doesn't increase, but then we run out of the ideas of the project. So they said the only way you can get a bigger project, you have to go somewhere else. So the point I'm making is this: the first criteria would be is your boss is helping you to grow? If this tick box, great. Second criteria would be, are you getting challenging projects to learn, grow, take, stay, right? And then if you move, we find it great. Right? If the first and the second is not happening, first your boss is not helping, and second you're not getting projects or of increasing responsibility or a task of increasing responsibility, then for sure this is not the organization. And if you find a job which actually maybe with the same money with increasing responsibility somewhere else, I would strongly recommend to do so.
So challenge yourself is the key thing, challenge yourself and create that environment, as Manuel said, find those friends. And believe me, I've been a career mentor or coach for almost 30 years now. I have not found even a single senior boss who doesn't like someone who delivers. So if you deliver over and above of what you're expected to do, you will be loved. You will be loved because you see, at senior level, people don't want to work. Believe me, that's a trade secret, right? There are very few people who would work crazy like 18 hours like Muddassir, but very few people want to work more. So if you can, so one of my very senior gentlemen, when I used to work with British government, gave me this formula which I'm sharing with you. At your earlier age, when you're very young, like a lot of people in this group are young, think to do things through which your boss starts seeing things from your eyes, start listening things from your ears, and start saying things what you want to say. If that's the goal you have, then you have the strongest ally in that organization, and nobody's going to see, because not if this is an organization where there are 100 supply chain professionals, there will only be 1 or 2 doing this. Okay, if you follow this, you will be successful. So we are towards the last 12 minutes of the session. We may just overrun a little bit into the session, but what the opportunity that I want to give you is this. So let me finish. Let me just quickly finish. Matthias, thank you very much. We'll meet you again. You have the opportunity to find some amazing supply chain professionals if you keep commenting on SCMDOJO posts, because our posts are really getting viral. We have 30 to 100 comments on each post. These 30 to 100 people could be your potential contacts. We are doing these monthly webinars, and there will be more master classes coming in. So please come and join in. We have some amazing people. You already have heard Manuel, Muddassir, Atiq, Deepak. You have met because he shared. We've got Arpit joining in from Canada. So the community is growing. If we know the community, if we know the right person in the community, you will get the help. You may not need to wait for a month. You will probably get the help right now, right away. Muddassir, over to you, and then we'll break for 5 minutes for networking, and we'll come back.
Yeah, I just want to extend your quick story of a real, the point you make. Okay. So one of my bosses was one of those lazy bosses, right? They delegate everything. So when he used to go on a holiday, right? And that was a great opportunity for me to learn what he does. So I was actually volunteer myself to go into the senior manager meeting or do a P&L or do a task basically he used to do, right? And when he used to come back from the holiday, I said, I've done it enough. Did I do a good job? He said, yeah, you did a great job. Fantastic. Nobody called me during my holiday. Well done. I said, can I keep it? Right? And actually, I volunteer myself to keep that task, right? Because if I can do, it's a managerial task. If I can do it, that means I'm showing a capability that I'm good enough to do his job, right? Just a little tip from that story. That's it.
Absolutely fantastic. So what we are doing, we are breaking into 5 rooms. You will find, yourself and 4 other fantastic supply chain professionals in your room. Introduce each other and build that relationship. And you only have about 6 minutes to do it. So it's going to be a speed dating date with the person, with those people in the room. And about 5-6 minutes, come back and share what your experience has been. And we're going to break another interesting news for you when you come back. So join these rooms and learn and build that relationship speed dating. There you go.
We
Right.
are back, Ahmed.
So yeah, thank you very much. So what is anyone want to share the experience of this speed dating? Maybe just one or two people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the experience. Go ahead.
Yes, Deepak, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, for me, it was a quick, introduction. People are coming from different background. With freshers to extensive experience, working in different industries. So it's a real platform to get connected with the people and share our expertise. Within the close group of network. So I think it's a good initiative, Mr. Ahmed, for inviting us in this discussion and sharing our experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can agree to him, because basically what is always impressive is the different backgrounds and the diversity of the backgrounds that we have. Everyone in supply chain, we could think, yeah, everyone has the same background. Not at all. We have such a huge base and a foundation of knowledge within this network of SCMDOJO that is just impressive. So every time when we have kind of a question, we should have kind of a solution on how we can relate that question back to the network of SCMDOJO, because the knowledge we have here is so diverse and so powerful that is really value.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more feedback, and then we've got some announcements to make.
Actually, no one else from my room has opened his camera or mic. Only me and Hira interact a bit, and it was really nice interacting with her. I mean, we've been interacting through LinkedIn quite a while, but not in a session, or it's my first session. So it was really great to finally know her a bit, know about her. I tell a bit more about myself, what my future plans are. So it was a really great session. And actually, I want to say thanks to Mr. Muddassir as well to let me be a part of this community as well.
Be a pleasure to have you. And Hira is very shy, actually. I know her personally.
Is she? I mean, she's the first person commenting all this, so she's not shy. So what the message I have for you, for everyone who is with us at this moment in time, our network is our net worth. Remember that. If you know people and people know you, you will grow, because you're going to learn from them and they're going to learn from you. It always reciprocates. And this is just such an amazing thing. We only gave you about 5 minutes, and it was like literally speed dating. We just wanted to give you an experience. Now, if you spend 5 minutes on SCMDOJO page every day, we are sharing every day. We are sharing something exciting, something new, and share your thoughts. Then what happens is people will reciprocate. If they see you, they reciprocate. If you are there and you're buried somewhere, nobody knows if you exist. Okay, so we all request you to please stay connected, grow your network. See, supply chain is a global phenomenon. It's happening everywhere. Every country, every organization, supply chain is happening, and without supply chain, nobody can survive. Period. No business can survive. So if you can part of a global community and an active member of a global community such as SCMDOJO, you're going to grow. There is nobody can stop you, right? So thank you very much, Manuel, for sharing your amazing, I would say, mentoring thoughts, because I know when someone like you start talking, you can talk for hours, and the conversation would not end with the wealth of knowledge you have. Muddassir, thank you for your feedback. Benjamin, thanks for joining in. And hopefully next time around, we'll have more structured agenda. You send me a message, and I think there was some technical issues that Muddassir and I know while we were sending the invite. So bring in more people, talk to more people about this initiative, about SCMDOJO, write a post, tag Muddassir. Muddassir has got now 72,000 followers on LinkedIn. My God. So if he comments on your post, you can see, and if you tag me, I've got around 56,000. So it's like 120,000 followers just by 2 people. And we are always delighted to interact, engage, and help the community grow.
Yeah, I just want
Just the
to
last
thank
message.
you. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for Manuel's time. I know he's super busy, right? And what we are trying to say to you, Manuel, is we're here to help you. We're here to basically collaborate with your platform, you know, the company E. And if you need anything from us, from SCMDOJO community, we are here to help. I mean, we are here to give the favor back because you have given a favor, which is your time, time is the most precious commodity. So thank you very much for joining us.
You guys are amazing. My last sentence, please, in this. Thank you so also appreciate that you have me here. I'm also a follower, as you know. We know each other from another one who is in your space as well. So I think this is can be an extremely large reach. So I really appreciate that you give me this opportunity, and we stay connected. Whenever somebody wants to reach out to me in terms of my thoughts and talk to me about it, I will do my best to entertain it. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So SCMDOJO is coming up with an amazing initiative, and the pilot is already there, which is creating a marketplace, global marketplace for supply chain experts. Anyone in this room or anyone you know who is willing to join in, we are doing the beta testing right now. Reach out to me. 10 years experience in supply chain, any discipline within supply chain, and your ability to work as a consultant, you know, if you're willing to do that. This is the first ever supply chain integrated platform that Muddassir has. Well, almost there. We've created it. We're just doing some final testing. So this is an opportunity. We are only taking 100 experts at the moment. 100 experts. We are already at 58. So there is only another 42 space for 42. So if you know anyone who is willing to do, who is interested, regardless of the location, because most of this work is going to be remote work, we need passionate people who want to come work with us, experiment this global phenomena, which is called supply chain. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. Muddassir, if you have 5 minutes, if you don't, then that's okay. We'll talk later.
I'll stay.
You stay. Okay. Thank you very much. You all can leave. And this recording will be available on our YouTube channel, which is now the 4th largest YouTube channel on supply chain in the world.
I just sent the new blog out. You can check it out. Top 10 YouTube channels.
Great. Thank you very much.
Let's make it number 4. Let's make it number 1.
Definitely. With your good looks, Benjamin, we can. With your good looks and sex appeal. Yeah.
And that's why I have the camera deactivated to not distract the people.
Correct.